Hey, this is Adrian with Landscapians. We're here at a home that we installed a French drain and that we're installing a new French drain. We also found a ticking time bomb that's unique to this part of the neighborhood in Bexley, Land O'Lakes, Florida, that we're going to be exposing and talking about in detail. Before that, I just wanted to point out the French drain we installed here includes gutter attachments to all 8 gutters in between this home here. It's about 10 to 12 feet in between the homes. So before that, all 8 of the gutters were just dumping water to the middle. Now they all attached a flexi pipe that brings it underground into a 4-inch corrugated pipe that comes this way towards us, goes underneath the sidewalk, and expels all the water here to then go on to a stormwater drain. So we've seen what it looks like when it's all done, super clean. I want to show you guys what it looks like in the middle of a French drain install. So pretty soon we're gonna have that same grate coming out over there. We're gonna come underneath the sidewalk. We'll call 811 to identify any wires or internet cable that's in our way. But you can see the trenching's already started. You can see some of the flexi pipe that we attached to the gutters, and then that'll attach to our 4-inch corrugated pipe, come underneath, maneuver around this irrigation pipe, and continue on out to the street. And so continuing up here, watch your step, you're gonna see another gutter that'll be installed in our French drain. We'll line this with gravel, the whole trench. We'll wrap our corrugated pipe and weed barrier, and then we'll level and grade all of this to still push the water where we want it to, as well as install top drains where it collects water if we find additional low points as well. So as we continue back, we're going to be looking at our last gutter here on this side, and we're thinking that should solve the problem until we get to the irrigation valve manifold system. And so I'll talk about this briefly. This is where your controller wires to, and the mechanism that's attached to each one of your zones that makes it turn on and takes commands from the irrigation controller. And so as you can see, this one is completely underground. So is the neighbors, completely underground. I've been mowing in this side of the neighborhood for years now, and I've never understood why this happens. Recently, I learned that this is underneath the water line. And so I use this device to take little points throughout the yard to find out the lowest point of the yard. And sure enough, the builder installed this at the lowest point of the yard. So when the valves are installed underneath the water line, they're under pressurized and they're always going to leak out water in a way that they're not meant to do. The solenoids aren't meant to be underwater in this way. They're going to fail sooner, giving you tons of issues throughout your yard with your grass. And they're extremely costly repairs, more than $1,000 per zone to replace these solenoids by a lot of irrigation companies. And so we're installing this French drain that's going to do great work, but this is obviously still going to be a problem and not completely solve the issue that the drain is trying to solve. And so we will install a channel drain here and on the other side. However, the only fix for this is to move this entire manifold system to a place in the yard that is higher and more elevated. Now, some yards we may need to have this box protruding, how it does in the front of your yards. And in that case, we put it in this back corner. I'm gonna have you turn, sorry. But where I'm looking to put this whole valve manifold system is in this back corner, which is about 1.5 inches higher than over there. So it won't have to protrude much, but this is much safer place for mowers and animals and kids so that they don't trip over it. And so as you can see, all of that piping is gonna need to be trenched, and then each of your zones in the yard, even just the front zones, is gonna have to be trenched so that it comes through this valve manifold system. Every zone goes through this, even the front yard zones, because it's where it takes controls from the controller. So there's electrical wiring that's constantly underwater and was not meant for that. And every single part of your irrigation system is going to fail significantly faster when it's underwater like that. So take a look in your backyard, see if you can find your valve manifold system. If it's underwater and you've always had these mushy spots in your yard, on the sides, you likely need a French drain. Every home in the new phase needs a French drain. I'm on tour trace and I've gotten 2 French drains on my home, probably gonna install some more. But if you guys do this valve manifold move with us, we will bundle a huge savings into your French drain. If you've already done a French drain with us and you do the valve manifold move, we'll give you a savings for that as well. So take a look at your irrigation. If things haven't been working or if you've been having standing water, please call Landscapians at 813-943-1640. This is Adrian signing out, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to take your yard out of this world. Bye-bye.